Hello everybody, my name is TheNerdWife. Today we're going to be playing Analogue, a Hate Story. I don't actually know what this game is about because it's one my husband sent me. I'm going to assume by the title that it's a horror game. So we're just going to jump right in because when you pull up the screen it actually starts on its own. And the first thing that I couldn't get was incoming message. Hey, guess what? I've got a job for you that you're gonna love. Nice and easy. This is strictly a salvage mission. No crazy shit, I promise. One of those old pre-FTL generation ships from the 2000s, the Mugungwa, however the hell you pronounce that, just popped up on my radar. Its disappearance was apparently some big unsolved mystery. Never made it to its destination, I guess. It's just drifting lifelessly in orbit of the Antares B. I'll send you the exact coordinates. It's pretty hard to get a visual on, probably why no one's found it before. The sponsor for this one is a historical society from the outer colonies. Here's what the objective card says. Download any log files you can, especially any that can explain what happened to the ship. If possible, speak to the security AI Mute for assistance. It's a good, easy gig, and I want you to take this on. Or take this one. It should be social enough for you. I don't want to hear any complaints. Dispatch control out. All right. System is property of the Unified Korea Space Probe Agency. Accessed by individuals not affiliated with the UKSPA or successor organization is a felony under the UKSPA Act of 2381. Alright. Well, let's try download. Alright, so you need a password. Shark bait. Ooh. Haha. Enable AI. No. Oh, all right. Hello? Oh my word, an external connection? Is someone out there? It's been so many years since I've spoken to anyone. Oh geez, I'm being discourteous. My apologies. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hyun A.E. The star, of course, is silent. It just represents that I'm an AI. I control all the log-keeping systems on the Mugungwa, or at least what's left of them. Please, just excuse me for 1 second. I'll give you a terminal so you can respond. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Ah, geez, my apologies. I don't know why, but what you typed looked like garbage to me. That's bad. I think there may be a problem with my language parsing systems. Sorry, somehow your input is getting mangled between the terminal and me. I'm so terribly sorry. Let me just try something. Can you understand this? Very well, we have that at least. I'm afraid if we can't get the text input fixed, that'll have to suffice. I'm terribly sorry. It must be difficult being unable to say anything. This might be difficult then. While nevertheless, as the archive system AI, I'll do my best to try and help you navigate these records anyway. Unfortunately, it might be a little difficult since, well, without language parsing, you won't be able to do text searches either. Don't worry though, it's my duty to provide assistance with archive functions. I'll do my best. What kind of anime-ass AI does this ship have? Right, let me see. I'll try to provide you with the sampling of the logs to start out with, and you can just show me things that you want more information on. I hope that'll be acceptable to you. That's all I can do. Well, that's all I suppose. Pardon me, let me just build you an interface to work with so you don't have to struggle with the terminal. Very well, it's all set. And I suppose this is a little bit awkward, but can I say one more thing before you get to work? Sure. I'm very happy to be working with you. I've had nobody to talk to for such a long time. It gets so lonely. Having someone to talk to is just really, really amazing. I thought maybe I never would again. Sorry about the communication, the communication barrier, but even still. Ah, geez, I'm babbling. I won't hold you up any longer. Here's your interface. I hope it's good enough. Okay. Well, it wanted me to get any log documents I could. Okay, let's start with yes. Is that... Okay. When our family falls into decline, I just want it to be perfectly clear why. It's because Dai Huan's sons are the biggest collection of idiots on the entire ship. Father says these sorts of words shouldn't be written down. I'm calling them unfileable. Don't ask me what that is. But I'm skeptical. I intend no disrespect to my noble ancestors, but my dead uncle is no ancestor of mine, and his family deserves no respect. This has been in motion for years now, and it was an inevitability even, that any sons of Dai Huan would turn out the way they did. But up until now, to anyone outside of the family, it's been well hidden. Only now it's starting to fall apart in a way that no amount of good politics can disguise. The turning point was this year. At the time I write this, I'm returning from Sang Zheng's funeral. In that family, there were 3 brothers, Sang Zheng, the drunk, Sang Qiu, the dim-witted brute, and Sang Min, who, despite being the eldest, seems to have more interest in cavorting with courtesans than creating an heir. Noticeably absent from the mourning proceedings was Sang Qiu. What he was doing, I do not know. Knowing him, I can only guess. The affair was made even more laughable by Sang Min and his widowed mother's insistence that Sang Zheng had died of natural causes. Apparently they had even found a doctor willing to put such nonsense on the official record. An unmarried noble managing to drink his way to the grave at only 30 years of age would be embarrassing enough. To brazenly try and hide the obvious, however, that will mark the beginning of the Smith family's fall. Okay. Well, let's see what the next one is. And mute was the AI it wanted me to talk to if I could. I don't know why you insist on putting all this in writing when we could have a perfectly good conversation. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to do it. Whatever you want, you're the man. I just think it's a little weird, and I don't really get it. Anyway, as to your question, when you're spot on about the pale bride being the focus of attention in the royal family. Not for the reasons you wanted, though. I don't know where you heard those rumors, but they are so not true. That girl, a troublemaker? No way. I don't see it. Like, it's not even convincing as a rumor. That girl is the most polite, most obedient person I've ever seen in my entire life. The idea of her fighting with her husband is completely unimaginable. In over a month, I've never so much as heard her raise her voice in disagreement. She's quiet, courteous, and does everything she's told without even the slightest hesitation. Okay, When you're married, your spouse breathes too loud and you yell at them for that. Alright, so there's no way. I'm sorry, but there's just no way you could possibly exploit any drama here. This is as undramatic a situation as it gets, especially not compared to what the situation with your cousin in that courtesan. Don't get me wrong, she bugs the hell out of me. The girl is just too perfect. She's young, she's beautiful, she's demure to the point where I don't even think she has a personality of her own, but she gets along perfectly with the queen. Of course, she commands all the attention of the emperor. Like, can you blame him? I'm sorry, but there's no way he's ever going to be anything but extremely grateful to the Kim family for giving her over. Okay. Click on anything else? No. Are these... Oh, okay, that's the dates in the corner. All right. The new heir. When he died this year, my father was an absolute nobody. I don't say this to disrespect his honor, but it's the complete opposite. He knew it, and that was a far worse fate than he ever deserved. It wasn't until I was maybe 16 that I even realized we were supposed to be from a noble family. Certainly we never had much of means. Father was a minor official in the interior decks and spent his last days dealing with the minor peasant disputes. Of all the things, peasant disputes. With the poverty we lived in, no wonder never really sank in we were of noble blood. Not until I met the main family for the first time. They were proud despite the fact that I now realized that they too were suffering from our same lack of royal favor. I could tell the difference. They hadn't given up. Their son was still alive at that time, and even though he was a child half my age, I couldn't believe his confidence. It put us to shame. Absolutely put us to shame. But their son died later that year, and my father died just a few months ago. I didn't know what we were going to do, but Mother managed to convince Sister's husband to adopt me into the main Kim family. I don't think it took much. So now I'm heir, just like that. Kim Jong-soo's adopted son. Not that I have the time or position to be proud, but having spoken sincerely with my new father, I think we're on the same page. I am going to study furiously, and I'm going to become scholar official. What I didn't tell him was my ambition. I won't settle for any peasant jobs. I'll be better than that. I'm not going to stop until I manage to fulfill my father's dream. High Magistrate. I won't settle. I will not settle. I think Jung-soo expects me to disappoint him, but I damn well will not. If I'm heir of the Kim family, I'm not going to let him down. He wants prosperity, I'll give it to him. More importantly, I'm never going to let another Kim's son feel like his family doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Never again, I swear on my ancestors, never again. To the woman who will marry my husband, but please do not think that all of this is meant to say you will be unloved. You may be a second wife, but you are still the daughter of a noble house, and that is a precious gift to the Ryu family. My husband has faith that you will bring him a son, and this means all the world to him. Nor am I jealous, for you will receive a heavy burden on our house, and for that I am grateful. As proof of his affection for you, let me share with you one secret, which I have been permitted to tell only you. In honor of you, my husband, in his capacity as captain and emperor, has permanently changed his admin password to your birth name. My new sister, you will be brought into the Ryu family, not as a mere lowly woman, but as a symbol of power in the inner chambers. You will not only represent the continuation of the Ryu bloodline by providing him a son, but your very name will represent the power of the captain's computer. Understand this, Pale Bride. Your duty may be great, but you will be loved. Did it say her name? No. Whatever her name is, that's going to be the password we need. Men are honored, women are abased. If you can remember one thing, remember this phrase. Okay. Is it only going to tell me that? Official genealogies don't list women normally. Wives are noted by their family names, and daughters are omitted entirely. These are relevant parts of what I was able to piece together from records. As far as the official genealogy is concerned, Young Seok is the heir of Jung-soo and was adopted in 317. Names in red are women. Means the name is forever unknown. Okay. Hello? Actually, I was just testing the indicator icon to see if that'd get your attention. I just thought it'd be a good way of letting you know when I have something to say. I mean, like, if I think it's super important, I can always interrupt you, but I don't want to distract you if I can help it. That'd suck, right? What kind of computer program forces herself onto you right in the middle of you trying to work? So I'll try not to do that. Anyway, that's all. I guess it worked. Carry on, and I'll set the indicator again if I want to tell you something. Okay. We still don't know her name, though. If you look in your interface, once you open a document, you can click on that little button of me to show me whatever it is. So which subject do you want to know more about? Oh! Alright, let's try to get the name of this girl. The last person to hold the titles Captain and Emperor on the ship was Ryu Inho. Of course, which of his wives do you want to know more about? She wrote a lot, so this is going to be tricky to filter. I guess I'll just start at the top and let you figure out what's important. Do I just need to show her everything and go from there? Oh, there's a new one. Alright. The second month of the 319th year was one of the great fortune for the Kim family. While on official business, the captain and Emperor Ryu confided in me that he wished that I had had a daughter of marriage age to give him to take as a second wife. His first wife had been unable to provide a son and was becoming increasingly concerned that she never would. At the start of the month, I had no daughter in my family to give. Only my son, Young Seok, was without child, and yet it was a perfect opportunity. This may sound fantastical, but I swear it is true. Passed on through the generations of the main branch of the Kim family is a giant egg of translucent luster, such that one can see the form of a sleeping child inside. She is known as the Pale Bride for the inscription on the egg, and she was entrusted in our family to be awakened during a time of great prosperity. Yet, as any man knows, prosperity is seized, not waited on. A daughter provided the emperor with a son would elevate the family above the other noble house once and for all. Considering this, I promised the emperor that I did have a daughter who would soon be of marriage age to present him. Then I smashed the egg, such that the pale bride passed through the Kim family for years could be adopted as my own daughter. She is a strange child, but she will make a fine wife for the emperor. What good fortune this means. Okay, so this is from the girl herself. Last week I woke up from cryostasis. Before I went in, Father promised me that when I woke up in the future they'd have medicine again, that I'd finally get better, that I might not see him again, but his descendants would make everything right. But the future broke his promise. I'm scared and confused, and I don't get what happened. I think there was a big disaster while I was in stasis or something. Everyone's so uneducated and stupid. Father and Mother were kind of dumb at times, but the guy who woke me up, he might be named Kim, but he's nothing like them. Father was wrong. Nothing's better. The future sucks. Dearest Mother, do you recall how in my last letter I mentioned the pale bride being brought into the household? I take back any kind words I might have said about her. That awful child is nothing but the most insufferable person I have ever met. I just thought I would have a little more time of peace with young Seok's adopted mother visiting her family. I've been given the full responsibility over that miserable child. What happened to my promised domestic bliss? She is in trouble so often one would think she were a boy. She acts like one too. I suppose it can't be helped. She says she lived her first 12 years in the past, and I can see it. She certainly acts as though she's from a less civilized time. Just last night she made a huge scene at dinner time. She kept trying to rudely leave the table in front of young Seok and father-in-law, loudly insisting that she were too sick to eat. She has said this before, too. I was worried, so I had a doctor examine her. She is, of course, in perfect health. When I asked why she thought otherwise, she started talking about how pale and thin she was. She's not truly unhealthy. All she was doing was rubbing it in that she is far more delicate and beautiful than I. What a cruel little child. Why must she be so spiteful to me? Okay. I guess we're gonna try and send a couple more of these off. So here's the background, I suppose. There were two major noble families on the Magungwa. The Kims were the big one, as I'm sure you can see. The Smiths were the other major family, but I'm afraid I can't really tell you very much about them. They were the most important family on the ship until just before the end. The High Magistrate was a Smith until the very last year, even. I can give you a little bit about them for reference, so you can see who the Kim men thought their enemy was. The Smiths didn't really matter very much at the end, so I don't know much about them. I certainly never met any of them, so I'm just going off of what I've read. Here, this should give you an idea of what I mean. Okay, well, I'm going to pause this one here, and we will come back to this. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.